I can't believe this. Have you ever seen that here? Jess?
No, this is... Did you see what we did today?
No.
Yeah.
I cannot believe what it looks like. Oh my God. That's wild.
We built a snowman,
Who, you and Noelle?
me and Scott. And we also...
You built a snowman. Aw. Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to answer two questions that I got from my subscribers. One was, how many layers do you put on? And the other one is, how do you control the cross hatching? How do you shape it so that it looks like it's blended? And they both really go kind of along the same lines. And I'm going to do some demos today. This is not a color blending video. I'm not concentrating on the colors that I use. I'm just picking pencils that I know go together off the top of my head. So there's no planning when it comes to that. Okay, I'm going to get you guys a little closer so that you could see. I'm working out of a Joanna Basford book, Secret Garden. And this is a good page because it has a lot of things that I can play with. So what I'm going to show you is how to control the hatching, and so that you can get a blend with it, because it is, a lot of people think it's very square and they hold off on it. I love hatching. I can do hatching for an entire picture and it wouldn't bother me. For those who are really new, hatching is a way of applying the wax to the paper without making circular motions. I use it a lot with my polychromos, although I'm going to be using my Prismas. Either pencil you can hatch with. You're going to pick a direction to start your base color. So here, I'm getting my lines next to each other, and I'm moving across the object in the object. I'm purposefully keeping some space open, okay, so that some white of the paper shines through. Now I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So first I went in this direction. Now I'm going in this direction. Now you want to get a good crosshatch, you really want a sharp pencil. Okay, so now I have 2 layers on. But I wanted to start changing up and providing shade. I want to do a transitional or a gradient on it. So I'm going to take my third pencil as a lighter pencil, and I'm going to just go a third layer on top. Each time I provide a layer, the pencil gets thicker on the paper. Okay. Now on the other side, I'm going to go back with my darker pencil, or even trade up a pencil. And let's get one that's not as close in color. This is Crimson Lake. And I'm going to do the other half in a darker pencil. Now, with hatching, especially in the Joanna Basford books, it won't break down the paper tooth as fast as if I was scrubbing into the paper. And then maybe I want to even get a little lighter on the other side. I'm going to go with a lighter pink. And I'm going to keep going. Because I could put so many layers on, and if you go slow enough, you will get that nice gradient. Now, what about blending? Because, pencils need to be blended. On the top layer, so I have a whole bunch of layers there. Now some people like the cross-hatched look, and that's fine. That's okay too. I personally, with my pencils, I like a blended look. So I really only have to put on one layer of blend. And I always do circular with blending. And I just get that little area in where the two colors meet so that it's softer. Okay? So now my pencil itself is softer. I'll go back over it again. Now, some people were saying they can only get 2 or 3 layers on this tooth. That's not true. Now, if I want to get even a little bit more color in, and there's even more. So now I have a nice gradient in there. If your pencil ends, I'll show you on here, say you're right in here where the lines meet, you need to go up, just fill them in. And there we have a blend. And that was easy. Completely cross-hatched. There is one other thing that you can do, and let me get it out. Sometimes you need to cross-hatch to get the wax on the paper. In one of Joanne's books, I would say that's very true. So my paper now is not even burnished or anything like that. If you don't want those crosshatch lines, I have a teeny tiny bit of mineral spirits. And that will take away any lines that you might have. So that was about 4 or 5 layers altogether. Let's see something else. This beetle-like thing right there. Let's make him, I don't know, green. Parrot green. Now I have to think of a color that will cross-hatch well with the parrot green. You know what happens when you do anything with red with green, it doesn't match. It'll turn to mud. So I'm going to cross-hatch it with some yellow chartreuse. These two colors should blend really nice together. So I'm going to start my crosshatch with the parrot green. Then I'm going to switch over to my chartreuse. Well, my yellow chartreuse. And I haven't crossed it yet, but I'm just getting both colors into the same spot. Okay, now I'm going to go back the other way. Going over that yellowed mix area. So now there's 3 layers over here. And for my second layer over there, I'm going to go back in the other direction, which would be this way. Get my yellow going in this area also. This has more layers on it than these two sides. And I'm going to do it again. But I don't necessarily have to go in the same direction as I did the first time. I could pick a different direction. I'm trying to grab the tooth and whatever didn't grab the first 2 times or 3 times I went in there. Then I'm going to go back. So now I have several layers. I only need to go in 1 time with my white to blend it. Then I may put in a gray, which would be another layer. They start to build up. Instead of, well, maybe not. I'm going to go in with a indigo blue, because I really know that that looks nice. And I'll just get that shadowed area. And now I'm going to go the other direction. And just to make things look really rainbowish, I think I'd go in with an orange as a shadow color on this side instead of a really dark. Pop that with a little bit of white just to smear it. And I have a good gradient. Now, that's very close up. Look how nice it looks when it goes into a distance. And that's nice and smooth. So I hope that answers the question about how many layers. Your layers don't have to be even. Sometimes a tiny area may take 3 layers. Sometimes it takes more than that. I never do less than 3. That's my minimal amount. And I can go up till 10 layers on it depending on what I'm doing. But it doesn't mean every spot in it has the same number of layers. It's all depending on what I'm creating and how I'm creating it. And I will see you tomorrow with another color study.